Getting some attention. Hey everybody, we live in the studio today. Come on and swing on by. It's like home.
Goes down smooth.
It's like what?
Goes down smooth.
It goes down smooth. This sounds like something else. Leah's in the background over there, and everybody can see her right now.
He's like the anchor man. Scott goes down on the smooth. That's how a show goes. Real smooth.
Listen. I don't know. I don't know, but everybody that's online today, come on live with us. We're in the studio. We're at WRFU, UCIMC. Once again, my whatchamacallit is getting like so, what is it? Like, my, everybody had their party mode up and on. We went through Valentine's Day. Another aspect of
people. Did everybody get everything they wanted?
This ain't Christmas.
Yeah, yes it is.
It's not Christmas.
It's a step down from Christmas.
Is it a what?
It's a step down from Christmas for them. Did they get everything that they want? Did the man show up? Were you the main chick? Were you? Did you get in an argument? And did you leave for the night? That means you're not the main chick.
Did you leave? Did they leave you? Some prior days to it?
Did you trip over your shoes and got mad at you and left for the night?
Hopefully that wasn't the case for a lot of us out here online. You know, hopefully that wasn't the situation. I know.
Everybody got everything they wanted.
Well, you know, hopefully people did. I'm hoping that, a lot of people went through the Valentine's Day with their significant other.
Didn't everybody stabbing?
And hear about those things, right? But today we'll be live in the studio. Come on live with us today. We got a couple of minutes before we're on and before we do our thing up in here. We've been having a little bit, hey Elroy, what's going on? But sticky illustrations, what's going on with you? But yeah, we're live in the studio at WRFU UCIMC. We'll be going live here in a second because it is now 3 p.m. It's 3 p.m., Andre. That's almost 3 p.m. We'll be live here in the studio. I'm good. Sticky illustrations. How are you? Elroy, what's going on? Elroy, you know what? I meant to call you and talk to you because I got a proposition for you to do something in the community over there and see if it might spark your...
Why people call it 3 o'clock?
Because people do this all the time. Anytime that we get on live. Hey, Elroy. But yeah, thank you for peeping in. Thank you for being live with me up in the studio. But, yeah, we're live now in the studio here at the WRFU UCIMC. We're in the radio station now. Hello, everybody, and thanks so much for tuning in to me today. You are on live, and this is now Afternoons with Deep Light. And like I said, thanks so much for tuning in to me. All my listeners as well that are out in Radio Land. Let me send a special shout out to my cousin Shannon. You know, I know that she listens to me quite often. Hey, Cook. But right now, before we get started, we're going to start off with our legal ID. And this is what I do at the top of the hour, each hour that we're on. This is WRFU LP Urbana. This is our disclaimer. WRFU is an open forum for the Urbana-Champaign community. Views expressed are those of the speaker and guests, and they are not intended to represent WRFU UCIMC. Hey, everybody, what's going on this afternoon? I hope that everybody's day is great so far. But before I get started, this is what I do at the top of the hour each time that I come on. I introduce who's in the studio with me today, and Andre is here.
Andre's here. I got my TIP hat on, you know.
Andre. TIP. And back in the back there is Leah. She does not do anything. All right. Well, thanks so much for tuning in to us today, guys. I really appreciate you coming on live with me today. Andre, we are after Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Galentine's Day as well. And haven't heard any negativity, but what did you want to ask the people?
I wanted to ask them, did they get everything they wanted? Did everybody have a good Valentine's Day? Everybody stayed together? Or did you meet somebody, you know? Or did you get walked out on? Or get
Oh, my God.
in a little arguments that
Oh, my gosh.
made you disappear for the night? Well,
Hey,
that means-
Chantel.
Yeah, that means you're not number one.
Wow. I'm hoping that, everybody had a beautiful Valentine's or Galentine's Day or whatever you want to call it, whatever you did, whatever you chose to do. I hope everybody experienced love on that day. I know that was a pretty big day for our family because my daughter and Javante, Kiaris and Javante Sibley did their nuptials on Valentine's Day, which I saw online. That was a big day.
Yeah.
And I mean, we were in the courthouse and it was so many people up there, Andre. It was like so many people. I was like...
Yeah, when I dropped off, I seen a whole bunch of people just walking up in
Yeah.
their dress.
Yeah, they were dressed to impress. I was kind of stunned at it because I really wasn't, I expected jeans and t-shirts from everybody, whatever, you know what I'm saying, but not really to like show out to that magnitude. Like literally, I did not.
Thought it was a problem.
Hey, Jerry. But I did not. So I'm doing great, Jerry. How you doing out there? But you know what? That was one instance, I guess. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of things. Jerry says his Valentine's was great. I'm glad it was for you. We've been saying a lot of things that have been going on within the news lately. I guess we can touch on the topics.
Yeah, a little bit.
We can touch on them. You're not gonna touch it? We're not gonna touch on anything. But
Not-
you
not
know
too
what?
much, not too much.
No.
You like the planes, the plane flipping over.
Yeah, the planes. Yeah. Like I told you before, that secondary trauma, how it does. Like you see what's happening, and a lot of people will not even fly anymore because of it, which I find to be like.
And I seen a post that they was trying to give away the money to the passengers that way they want to sue.
I don't think that it wasn't because they didn't want them to sue, because I think don't you think they were anticipating like they would end up suing?
Yes, but they probably had to sign the NDA, not to sue. After that little, it's supposed to be like $40,000.
Wow. No, I don't know if they would or wouldn't, honestly. I mean, I would. That's trauma. That had to be extremely traumatizing to where you're like, what is, no? No. I don't know. I mean, I'd be okay with visiting and going on. I would still, because you know what? I feel like that would, ultimately, it's like, because you saw something like that, I don't know if you would necessarily, pull back from flying. Because it's just like a car accident.
Right.
I done been in a car accident, head-on collision.
I would definitely check the weather, though, before I would fly. If I was in a thing like that. I wouldn't be, traveling in the summertime.
Really?
More than the wintertime.
Really? Yeah, it's I don't know.
It's kind of hard to land on icy roads and wind conditions.
True.
So I would take that out of the equation and just fly in the summertime.
True. It could be a potentially hazardous situation. You have to look out for those things, I guess. Take those things into consideration at all times.
Yeah.
But, that's just like planning your road trip, though.
Right. Yeah, you're not going to drive in icy weather.
No.
So why would you want to fly?
No, most people don't want to. But yeah, so, we also saw that, Kentucky have got hit with rain.
Yeah, flooding.
I saw that, and a lot of people were going to Union City, which I'm very familiar with that area in Tennessee. But, yeah, that was kind of just all over the place. And then I saw Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah. I didn't see it. You had to tell me about it. I didn't even see it.
Did you even pull it up to look at it?
I didn't.
Wow. I wish you had saw that photo, but I had uploaded a post somebody had put from outside of their front door. And gosh, we are really praying for that city. Not that we're not praying for down there in Kentucky, but up there, I mean, floodwaters were all the way to the doors, over the hoods, and you could hear like everybody's car alarms and stuff going off, because what was going on, that was really rough.
And plus, the water's still contaminated too, right?
Yeah. So they're still dealing with what is that, lead poisoning in the system, in the water filtration system. So I'm just like, man, that's really going through some things. Hey, Tony, but that's a rough one right there, because I don't know how you would go about recovery process from that, right. Because you think about all of the houses were up, in those specific areas and neighborhoods where it was flooding up to the doors, right. And
they got basements up there too.
I know.
The whole basement to the
so you look, the saturation of the ground, just right. Imagine it, like, and then when the water does rescind, the settling of those houses, right. That could potentially cause, what is that, like,
foundation,
like a pit to form and either collapse the whole entire building into, you just never know. Yeah, you just never know. But we're sending our thoughts and prayers out there to everybody that was affected. Hey, Lasia. But, yeah, it's a lot been going on, Yeah, so today is pretty laid back, so to speak. Andre, we did have a topic. What was I telling you when we came in? About if you're not married.
Oh, if you're not married.
You're single.
You're single.
Right. I mean, Andre.
That's a tough one to...
A lot of people, and you know what? I've heard a lot of preachers, a lot of pastors, a lot of community folks that we understand and know. A lot of older people would say that. Like, Grandma,
listen. You just checking around. You're not with her anyway.
Yeah, they would tell you that. Like, if you're not married, you're single.
Right.
And we coming out of Valentine's Day, and people, that are in committed relationships, I wonder how, like, they feel about that. Like, after you've been in a relationship for so long, right. And, we haven't managed to get to that platform, do you feel like you're constantly dating? And I know, like, women, that Charlton Heston, when he was alive, God rest his soul, that was him, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. But when he was alive, I think women really listened to him speak. Yeah. And I mean, they would call in, it seemed like, to me, to get the abuse. Right. Be subjected to the abuse, be in the mix of what's really
going on.
What's really going on. I mean, and he was very...
bold, straight to the point,
I guess you can say straight to the point and bold, but it was like almost torturous. Yeah. It was like...
Something you need to hear, though, sometimes.
Do you really need to hear that you're big if you're bigger than the average man? Do you really need to hear that? Do you really need to get rated? On like... No. And then he would play like little sounds and whatever after the rating of the woman. And you're like, man, that's so cold. That is so cold, for somebody to just... But women would subject themselves to hearing that.
Right.
And I'm like...
Yeah, I don't know how he got popular like that.
I don't know how he did either. I don't know, but I know his biggest fan base was women.
Right.
So you're telling me that women would okay, I'm going to sit online and I want to hear this.
Right.
I mean, I find myself watching little old clips of what he said to women and being like, oh my God, that's the most cruel thing that I think you could say to somebody.
Right.
But yet he'd have another one.
Right.
And another one.
Yeah, it's just like high school, really. You know, like the guy.
Do you really?
Like when you go to high school, you know, you got that one guy who got 5, 6 baby mamas in
high school.
In high school, yeah, you know, in high school, yes. And then the dude had like 10 kids by the time he's 21, but he's still getting all good looking women. I don't know what it is.
That's kind of hey John, but that's kind of sad.
Yeah,
if
you
you.
That's how it is, though.
What do you believe a woman's rationale is behind trying to date somebody in that Mr. Popularity? Are they trying to take him from other women?
Or they're trying to get their popularity boosted up. I don't know.
That's kind of a sad
Yeah.
correlation.
Yeah. Because, you know, I've seen it all through high school. You know, all popular guys. They get all the women and they get them pregnant. And then they have another one with the other baby mom. And then they have about 3 or 4 baby moms.
That's so sad,
18,
Andre.
19,
That's so
19 years
sad. Anybody online that's listening to this right here, you know, let me know. Let me know what your I'm not gonna say bias, but unbiased belief is.
Yeah. Or even if they went through something like that.
Did you? Yeah. Have you gone through something like that
in
where
high
you
school, which is like, hey.
Listen? But you see women do that, like for Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
That shocks me all the way anyway. And then you know what? I just found out that Elon Musk has 13 children.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Did you not know that?
I didn't even know he had the little one.
I didn't either.
I mean, he had 0 kids. I didn't know.
I didn't either. I didn't know he was married several times and that he had like 13 children, and this new lady had just had his brand new baby like several months ago. I didn't even know that. I really didn't. Like, you know, a lot of news reports and things that we see are really surprising to me right now, you know.
Well, you know, if they control the news media, they're not going to say nothing about it. But they'll talk about Tiger Woods. And, you know.
Won't they?
Yeah.
You know.
Shout out to Tiger.
If he's listening online right now. But, yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate what we're plagued with now. You know, we're ending Black History Month, right? And I don't know if any parents or any grandparents went up to the school for the NAPIT. I saw Janice Mitchell and Terrence Nance. I saw their programs that they're doing. You know, they were beautifully put together for the children over there in Urbana. But, you know, anyway, J.H. Cockrell, hey, what's going on? But if anybody's asking where I get this information from, like I tell you all the time, I am live on Facebook at the same time that I am on the radio. So if you want to look me up by chance, my name is Mika Light on Facebook. Please look me up and give me a follow, like, and share this video as well. Andre, let's move on. Let's move on. So, you know, we went through the holidays. Now we're on the precipice of getting together for the springtime. It should be coming around.
Yeah, spring break's coming around.
Yeah, spring break is coming around.
High school kids.
Yeah, you know, I'm wondering what people's vacation status will be after a while. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But where you'll be going over the vacation times and everything like that. Yeah. I should be planning something.
It's the time to plan for the high school kids to go to college too.
You know, that's a big thing right now.
Yeah,
they need to be picking colleges and picking schools right now. You know, I could pull Leah in on this conversation, but I know she doesn't want to have it right now, and she doesn't want to have it online. But, you know, you never know. A lot of people, you know, people do that all the time. You know what I mean? People do that all the time. They choose to call you right in the time that you're not available. But that's a big thing, because around here, I'm wondering, like, what this will look like now, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. How is that going to look for a lot of different people, you know?
Yeah.
paying for education. I wonder, did they get in on the scholarships that they're supposed to be applying for,
And all the
things
cuts,
like that.
does the cuts that's supposed to come down affect that? With
That's
Mrs.
what I wonder
with
too.
Mrs. McMahon.
I wonder too. I
taking
really,
over, the education role.
yeah, I really wonder about that a lot. How will our children be affected while they're going and applying for school this next coming school year? You know, since DEI was taken out of a lot of areas, you know, what is it going to look like out here now? You know, yeah, that's a big one, Andre. You know, that's a big one, and I wonder, are a lot of parents, you know, that are sending their kids to college even thinking about the ulterior? You know, I got a really good friend lady that I'm friends with, Miriam, and she was talking about sending her daughter to school, and right now they've got it at like some baseline where she's supposed to contribute, you know, a certain amount of funds to her daughter's education. And I know at one point in time, I thought at one point in time that she was going to be getting in on the fact that she was African. And like, now will this affect her?
Yeah. I think so, because so we made a lot of cuts to non-Americans, I guess you would say, non-Americans.
Yeah. I mean, I can. I don't know where to go with that one, Andre. I don't know where to go with that one.
You have to do some research on that. Come back with that.
Yeah, because that one is that's something that we really need to know. You know, and then what funding options that we can do or we could provide for the children going forward. You know what I mean?
Right.
As a community, especially, right? You know, I saw something online that I really wanted to touch on, and I might as well. Hey, Eric T. But I saw a little flyer going around online. I got to talk about it. Andre. I don't have no choice. But I saw a flyer going around online, right?
Yeah.
And it was Blackout Friday. Did you see that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so February 28th. You know, I'm not telling people to do this or not do this, but what I am saying is that there was something that was put online that was telling people not to spend anything. Not at all. You know, not to shop, not to buy, not to do anything. And I'm like wondering, like, you know, they were like, well, you know, we all have to band together about what's going on in the nation right now. And our mark is the spending power because we are the middle class. Right. And they were like, don't buy anything at all from anywhere. And I'm talking about no gas, no nothing. Right. And if you could buy, just buy locally and buy from small shops, you know what I'm saying? Right. Locally owned businesses. And I'm wondering, you know, since they called it a Blackout Friday, you know, and say they gave a specific deadline for people not to spend within that time period. I'm wondering how many people, because you said you haven't even seen it.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. You know, like how many people have actually seen it, and would they consider doing that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Would you consider not spending on that time period and in that time frame?
So why does it have to be on the last day of Black History Month?
I mean, I would think, and it's just my opinion, is to make a statement.
Right.
You wouldn't think so?
I don't think so. Because why would it just include the blacks? It's just for the black people, or it's for everybody?
It's for everybody. Yeah. So that's what I'm kind of wondering. Yeah. But I would, you know, on the last day of Black History Month, I think that would be the motivation of why they wanted to do it.
Well, they probably should have did it on like the Inauguration Day or Independence Day, or
I mean,
something with the country's symbol.
Yeah.
Attached.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but you know, there is symbolism in that being the last day of Black history.
You know, we're already targeted anyway.
Yeah.
So that just put another target on us.
To not spend?
to not get any funds from the government. It's trying to take everything else away. You know?
I'm confused.
You know, it'd be something like they would kind of like take it like personal against the blacks if we did that on that day, and then the government would come back or something.
How would they take it personally? Because, I mean, they can't monitor your spending.
Oh, they can monitor him.
No, I'm talking about they can't specifically monitor.
Right. But they can monitor their spending that they're going to pass down through grants or.
I mean, they could definitely, you know, limit
Yeah.
the funds that minorities would receive. I would understand that, but I'm not understanding, like, how would they be able to target or know it's specifically us? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to it being, you know, anybody within our block circumference, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, I mean, I saw it online and I was just like, I didn't see it getting passed around a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it at all.
I'm shocked at that. I really am. Hey, Josh. But I really am shocked at that. I thought everybody had seen it because it was circulating, you know, pretty big time, you know. And I'm not saying everything is on, like, everything is easily accessible to you. If you're looking at certain things, I don't know. I mean, I belong to a lot of different organizations online. So, but I saw Azark, he had put it on there, and you know, he shared everything anyway. But, you know, I'm just thinking about it. I'm wondering what's the impact that it would make, and if anybody actually would do it or be willing to do that.
One day, if it's like a whole week.
One day could be a great impact, but if you really actually do not spend.
Right. But then the next day you're going to spend double. So it really
Could be.
Do no effect. I think like a week probably would do a bigger damage.
Right.
At least 5 days.
Yeah.
At least like the work week or something like that.
Yeah, I could understand that. I could understand that too. But, you know, people are going to spend how they want to spend.
Right.
And I think until we actually, you know, hey, Joseph, I think until we actually take charge of our spending power.
And our circulation, where's the money going to?
Yeah.
Is it going
because it doesn't stay in our community
at all.
long at all. So I think until we get on that page of like really
getting the grocery store black owned or
yeah
gas station that ain't, you know, got a Middle Eastern guy in it or something like that.
I mean until we get, you know, our own stores, resources, outlets that we can actually purchase from. And I'm not talking about like little purchasing areas that we're in right now, like stores. But I'm wondering how that would look collectively if we all work together to get a store or a shopping center.
Yeah, I think,
you know,
how would we just go about owning a gas station in our block?
True.
You know, because that's going to put money back in our block automatically.
Yeah. It would. You know, I wonder.
Because I haven't seen a black-owned store with gas station since I was a kid.
I've never seen one. I mean, you know, but I can't say that. I lived in Tennessee. And in Tennessee, you know, I've seen that. But up here, I have not. You know, I haven't. You never know, though. You know, how's people? Hey, Joseph. I hope everything is good with you as well. But it's been going pretty decently for me today. Andre, we could circle back around into this relationship aspect of the conversation where you ended off. I guess that was last week, right?
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
That was last week, right?
What was that?
Bro, I'm telling you, bro.
How good of a listener are you during the conversations?
And you gotta be a good listener.
Gotta be a good listener, both ways.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah. So I had to get my chance to say my piece to that person last week. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna have to know where to go from there until I get done doing that. So
You didn't get to say your piece?
no, didn't get to say my piece.
Okay. So what do you feel like you're missing out of that? You feel like you missed your voice? Or did you miss your
I
opportunity?
missed my opportunity and my voice because I listened to her voice. Yeah, so I think I should get my due turn. To let her know how it feels just to sit there and listen.
What is that
And
going?
can she sit there and listen? You know,
Hey, that's a whole nother. Yeah.
because I did it. So
I mean, do
can't
you?
ask for something that you don't want to give in return? Yeah.
You said that. I didn't. I'm listening to you. Like, what are you saying? I don't know.
If you listen to somebody for so long, then it should be your turn to give it back, right? It's only fair.
Anybody that is online right now and would like to have that conversation, please let me know. I feel like, we keep circling it back around to the relationship aspect and to the relationship conversation. And, you said you can't be a good listener without in return. If somebody is talking to you. So you want them to be a good listener for you as well. If you return, right? And they give you conversation that lasts for quite a while, then you want to be able to in turn have your voice and have your talk. But let me ask you, are you only want to have your voice and have your talk because they said things that ignited you? Or did you find any, because...
Yeah, some of it's because I want to rebuttal what they said.
Okay. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, something...
I didn't start this conversation, but I do need to have a say in the conversation. It's not a conversation if you're just talking. So I had
That's true. Yeah, that one-sided thing never ends out working well. I can tell you that.
All right. So some of those things might have been misconstrued what she thought I did. So I was trying to explain it when I had my time to talk.
But you didn't have a time.
Right.
Okay. So at some point you're gonna end up having a conversation where you're like
rebutting from what she said.
Okay, you're gonna come back full force.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got notes.
We got hopes. We got hopes and dreams.
And I got notes. So I won't forget.
Are you sure? You never know.
You gotta be like a therapist, kind of take your little chat note and not say nothing.
Really?
Yeah, you do. Because I just let things go all the time. So if I don't write it down, I probably won't remember. I don't keep hold of grudges, but I can write it down though.
You don't hold grudges?
Yeah.
Well, you're not human. I mean, let me tell you.
I don't hold them forever. I might hold them for so I forget about it. And
until the next time? Is that what you're saying?
Until it brought up. So I didn't bring it up. Somebody else brought it up.
I mean, do men really... Do you really process everything that a woman tells you, though?
Not really.
Okay. Because, you know what? I thought... I can remember, I know for sure, reading something somewhere where they really, men only listen to about, the first 5 or 10 minutes of what you said. And then it's like they either fade out or, you know what I mean? It just doesn't process.
Unless something else strikes the nerve.
Hey, Bree, what's going on? Yeah. And, they don't process it.
Yeah, from that 5 minutes to the 15 minutes, I might have missed that other 10 minutes until that next 15.
Hey, CJ, but you know what? That's what I think.
Yeah.
I
that's
think
pretty much to anybody. If you just talk to somebody for an hour, you're probably gonna lose focus.
Women don't lose focus with another woman if we're having a conversation, because we really get, into that conversation.
You're talking back and forth. You're not just sitting there listening to her for 1 hour.
Right. Hey, Bree.
That's different,
But Bree, do men tend to fall out of the conversation after the first 5 minutes of the conversation, or do you feel like they are?
After the first 5, maybe 15, 20. Because you're not getting no talk back. You're not be able to talk.
You're not engaging.
You're just listening because they're full force talking at you. And by that 10 minutes, it comes as an attack.
I need another man to come online and say, this is not how it goes with us. Because Andre just basically got browbeat by a woman. I swear to God. He just got browbeat by a woman. And this woman just took over the whole conversation and was like, listen, you're going to hear me because I get to have my talk now. No, sir, because most men are not sitting there for hours letting a woman talk for no hours. They're not doing it.
They're not. That was hard to do. It was hard.
It was hard, Andre?
It was the hardest thing.
Yeah, I believe they do, especially if they aren't interested in the conversations. 30 minutes at max. Bree said 30 minutes at max. Yeah, I mean, and that's where I see men, like, you know, after a certain while, I'm not listening anymore.
It's more of an attack.
To what you're saying.
After that 30 minutes, it's got more of an attack on your character, pretty much.
Right, right, which is why I'm telling you, I don't know a man on here.
Yeah.
Now, I might be wrong, men that are online, if you want to say something. But I might be wrong, but I do not know a man that would sit and let a woman talk for even 2 or 3 hours.
I did.
Without being like...
Yeah. I had to write some notes down because I had to come back with something.
Did you just say you had to write the notes?
Yeah.
You wrote notes down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know anybody that would go that length of time without being like, you know what, I've had enough.
Yeah, that's my first time ever doing that because after this, you know.
You must have been stuck because I don't see you doing it if you were able to just leave that situation. So you had to have been where you was like, you know what, I don't even, that's not where I'm finna go. I'm just here right now. So we must have been like eating out to dinner. You must have been something or just in a place where you couldn't move. Right. So that's where I'm like, because I don't know, most people would have been like.
You got to be out like, you know, an hour. I'm out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
You get out.
Yeah. And that becomes the problem right there.
Right.
That becomes the problem right there.
Yeah.
Because now you're like, now you at all.
At all.
And now you hurt my feelings.
Everything's an attack.
Yeah. That's what it ends up being.
Right.
That's what it ends up being. But I'm telling you, like, for most people, yeah. Andre said, she said it's not his first time. Bree started laughing. That's not his first time. Talking about
first time. Listen,
my eyes would be getting lazy focusing that long. I'm telling you, like, yeah. If I had to sit there and have somebody browbeat me for an hour telling me what I'm not doing, but you know, I've gotten that so much. I'm too old to the cycle right now. You know, I know what I can do, and I know what I'm not gonna do. Let me say that. I know what I can do, and I know what I'm not gonna do. And I think a lot of people get upset and angered with me because my attitude is so nonchalant.
Right. Yeah.
I am so
yeah, me too.
nonchalant.
That never affects you.
Andre, like literally, they probably be mad at me. And, you know, I probably have stopped some good relationships because I cannot... My attention span is not long, and I feel like if I'm not getting that reciprocated, like if somebody's not putting no effort in me, then I know mine is to the ground.
Right.
I'm a Scorpio, and I'm telling you, my effort is to the ground.
Well, I said that's the first time I ever sat there.
See, I wouldn't even have stood for that long. I can't. And number one, when you're a Scorpio, let me tell you about that. You don't feel like you ever wrong. You just feel like everybody else is wrong in their situation, because now you get like to the point where like you out of your mind, you know. And if somebody told you, you know, Mika, you could do this.
Yeah.
Bree, I'm telling you, we are very different. I mean, I can like somebody, Andre. I really can like them, right? But because I'm a Scorpio, Andre, I will not even.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope.
You ain't getting that attention that you think.
Okay.
Because now I got to read you for at least 30, 60, 90 days. I got to read you. You know what I'm saying? And if you'll read it, if I can't read it, something is wrong with me. So I'm like, no, I got to pull all the way back because I don't even know who you are.
Right.
Matter of fact, I don't even know who I am with you.
Right.
So that's the issue for real. That's the real issue. Brie, I already know I am. I already know I'm something.
Somebody could be, they could be yelling at me. I'm just texting away.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, Victor. But I don't know. I mean, I find difficulty in it, and I'm sure a lot of people find me to be very difficult, but I'm really not. You know, if you showed me some kind of, you know, hey, effort, you know, you realize effort. You know, you get an A for effort, even though it started with an E. You ain't at the end. You be at the beginning with me. You know what I'm saying? So I think a lot of older people, because we older now. Listen, and Bree, you got about 20 different personalities wrapped up in one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And and that's what somebody gonna have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? But for real, hey Brent, but you know, when you get older, I think it has gotten more and more difficult out here to actually be
to deal with the foolishness
in anything, Andre. You know, I really thought that our parents were like evil, a little weird, you know, a little like, what's wrong with them? But I really find that it's the individuals that were around them, you know, and even one with another, because I really don't even think they knew how to communicate with each other. They just put on a great facade. And, you know, it worked, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit of while. But I think it is very, very hard to, you know, like have a relationship as you've gotten older. Like, you know, I mean, listen, that's what we used to call her, Bree. Me, Mama. I told the kids about our song. Andre, we had a whole song about Sister Light. But anyway, hey Brent, I think that was our coping skill. Making up new songs. I don't even know what really happened. Man,
it's all right to cry.
I used to sing that to you and you would be crying all over the place.
My feelings hurt.
Bree, oh my God. I used to sing this song called It's All Right to Cry to Andre every time he was almost finna get a whooping, got a whooping, or something like that. Andre would be like, what are you doing? You crying. I'm like, yeah, that was,
That's probably why I don't cry right now. I didn't cry all that time.
But Bree said that's how her and Bubby is, and I know for sure, Bree, that's how y'all are. But, oh my gosh, me and Andre we had fun though.
Yeah.
You know, we had fun. Every time we used to come back from church, we had choir practice, church practice, the Bears be lined up in the little seats and everything. We had some experiences, but I'm telling you, as I've gotten older, I'm just like, Lord have mercy. What kind of person have I turned in? And then, you know what I think about most of the time also? It's like we turned into our parents. We turned into our parents, Andre. Like, for real. I used to think it was like, I would never be like that. And now you are slowly. Yeah. I mean, but one thing I can say about my mom is real. She one way with everybody else, but she another way with us. But I'm telling you, she's very
really soft. I told Mom she's not
soft.
With
her kids.
Yeah, when I had cancer, my kids used to run all over. I said, Mom, what's wrong with you?
No.
What is wrong with you? Where you go?
If it wasn't us, she is.
Yeah.
If it wasn't us, she is. You know, I see her how she is with her church members and stuff like that, and I'll be like, who are you?
Right.
Where did Sister Light really come from?
Right.
But, you know, I really think that has a lot to do with, you know what I've never asked her is like, did her mom hug her? I've never asked her that. I mean, you had 13 children.
Right.
I mean, did you?
Get
Was
tired?
she really?
Was she get tired of hugging the kids?
I mean, did she?
You know.
That was a question.
Right.
Because I think that has a lot to, yeah, Bree, Grandma.
Well, Mama and Grandma used to go to the field and get the food for the night and bring it back home. So.
Right.
And cook for everybody. So
right.
They had to do that every day.
Right.
So that might,
That might what?
That might have put their bond together other than hugging, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know what? You still need affection, Andre.
That might have been their affection that way. Yeah. Because Big Mama was the only one who let Mama cook for the family.
Yeah.
I
mean, I've heard of Mama telling the stories of wringing the neck and stuff like that. But I'm also like, I mean, like I said, I think that you need those, moments, right? Because then, like, even as we're talking about children and their development and how they react and how they don't react to certain things, right? And not being able to do certain things in relationships, Andre.
Yeah.
Could that be a reason why, I'm not able to communicate effectively what my needs, desires, and wants are from you because I didn't get none of this growing up. So now I'm just trying to, as an adult,
try to navigate it.
Figure it out. Hey, Roger. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much me too.
Yeah.
I mean, why you don't tell me you love me all the time? Like, why? Do I need to tell you that? I don't need that from you.
Having that many responsibilities with not that much time to rest is overwhelming. Children are overwhelming, Bree. But see, one thing, like I tell people all the time, like, Bubby, what's going on? What I tell a lot of people all the time is that our grandparents grew up in a different time period as well. Because my grandmother, Susie Mae Cooper, she had 13 children, and all of her 13 children were 2 to 3 years apart.
Right.
So,
30 years of kids.
That's well over 30 years of kids. But it's the fact that she knew the rhythm system.
Right.
She knew how to operate, how to do it, everything like that, right? 45 kids is definitely... 45 kids, 13 kids, Bree, is overwhelming. But yeah, she knew the rhythm system, so she gave herself a little break, she told me, in between having her children, because she did not want to, have an arm baby.
Yeah. And
she didn't want to have two babies, right? You know what I'm saying? So she had it to the point where she spaced out the births of her children, which is like, that's phenomenal, if you ask me, because I know
one of them got to at least be walking for having them.
Right, and that's what she said. She was like, one has to be at least off of her, from breastfeeding and everything else like that before she would make another child. And I was like, wow, that's smart.
Right.
Even for you to be thinking of it like that.
Even for it to happen.
Yeah.
So, granddad that too.
Yeah. So, I mean, there were a lot of things that they did that, I respect them for, because I'm like, that is amazing. And then, for our grandparents to actually have stayed together and raised all of their children together, 13 children, successfully raised all of them together and stayed married under that whole umbrella where they were just living alone at the end, I mean, I think that's phenomenal. And now we're talking about we can't even get past the second date.
Right. We can't get to the marriage part.
Ooh, Andre, tell it. That's what I'm just like. Is marriage, after experience this marriage with Kiwi and Javante over the last weekend, is marriage not the thing to do anymore? I see people put such a context on it right now where it's like it's not the goal any longer.
Right. Yeah, because the goal is just to be by yourself, do the best for yourself instead of trying to make everything together. You want to be so independent, and everybody wants to have my own thing. This is my house. This is my car. This is my education. It's not focused on with the family.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Is that even a real thing anymore?
Right.
You know, what does the nuclear family look like anymore? You know what I mean?
It's all messed up.
Yeah, it is. I had a conversation with Miss Lillian DeBear yesterday, and I was telling her about that exact thing, Andre, like, you know, and I'm not saying that people should or shouldn't. I mean, it's your preference, it's your choice, but how, I guess the world is just set up very differently than what my expectation was from growing up and seeing it.
Yeah, because, you know, when I was in high school, people, like, they used to talk, oh, we're going to get married after high school. You know, because they've been together for 4 years in high school.
Right, right.
2 years in high school.
Right.
Yeah.
Now they tell you, it's almost like now you're expected to wait a certain length of time.
Yeah, wait till you get your career done and then get married.
Right. And I'm like, why? Because why wouldn't you want this person to see you go through your evolution, and why wouldn't y'all want to go through it together?
Right.
Yeah, this is a different world out here. You know, not that wasn't just a television show.
Right.
But it is truly a different world because, you know, I guess the expectations on people are just a lot different as well. I don't think that, you know, is it socially acceptable anymore?
It's the family house is gone.
Yeah.
And all the TV shows, like from 2000, they're all trash pretty much, except for Blackish.
No, you didn't represent that, but we don't promote. We suggest.
We suggest. I'm not promoting nothing.
Yeah. So if you want to watch it, it's at your own
risk.
Yeah. But yeah, I get that. You know, I do get that. A lot of things have changed and a lot of things are different now. You know, the promotion of family and different things like that. I don't know. Hey, Dr. Ponce. They want things to be perfect and they'll never be. You're right. Hey, Jeffrey. You know, I think that's the misconception that we have of the world now is that I want everything to fit in this nice little box.
You gotta get out the box.
And I mean,
because it's never a good time to have a baby, but when you have one, you make different choices.
Yeah, true.
Because when Kenzie was getting ready to come, I made different choices.
Right. But then that's something that also needs to be taught to young men, because there are a lot of young men that are out here. Like, you know, I was in the meeting with Hub and we were all there Sunday and, you know, talking to them about, you know, the young gentleman that was in the room with us, and he was talking about the difficulties that young men are having with even their children's moms, right? And that shouldn't even be a difficult thing. You know what? I had children, and I had children out of wedlock. I never made it difficult for them to have their kids. You know what I mean?
That's 1 in a million. Is everybody?
Andre, I didn't.
But it's also the man's fault too, because they was doing something else. You know,
right. Because you know we talked about that manipulation as well, but you know what? Instead of them being like totally honest and truthful about where they were and how they were in different situations. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But
that caused some of that effect.
It does.
Of the woman being.
It does. You know, they'll feel a certain type of way, especially when you're lying.
Right. And
you know.
And if you bring the kid, if you get the kid, then bring it around the new person.
Yeah.
You know, that you left her for.
Yeah.
You know, you know, I can see a problem with that too.
Yeah.
You spend time with the daughter or the son, but then you bring it over there and drop them off and go and get somebody, the third person.
Yeah, I see that happening a lot, you know, instead of you being like honest and truthful in the situation. But, you know, sometimes I think they're not ready for those conversations to even be had. Because, you know, somebody would rather be in a comfortable lie than to be in the hard truth.
Yeah.
You know,
because all that comfortability is gonna go away. Yeah.
They'd rather sit in that comfortable lie and be like, you know what? No, and you know, I guess individuals, couples, you know, kids, husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends need to be in their truthfulness and finally be like, you know what, I got to be honest with you. But like I told you, I had that conversation with young girls where I was telling them, like, listen, you know, just because he comes back and forth to you does not mean that you're the pick or you're the one. But then, like, we had that conversation leading up into this, and I was telling you, you know, explaining to them situations like you're just a temporary holding spot for somebody that they actually want. Nobody's having that conversation either. So now you're just left trying to, you know, hold the bag and figure it out.
Yeah, until the bag drops, and then now you're bitter, and and you bring that to the
and
next.
you still holding on to
bring
all
it to the
that.
next, you bring it to the next relationship, or you bring it to the kids that you got.
Yeah. Hey, Julian, but you know, that's the difficulties that we live in right now. You know, traumatized people. And then, you know what, you think that you're raising your child to the best of your capabilities, but you're actually inflicting more trauma on your child. Because now you've already put in their mind that, you know, you can't depend on dad. You can't depend on mom. You can't.
And when he comes to the door, you can't go see him. Sit back in the room. You can't go with him.
Right. And that's a torture. That's a complete torture, Andre. If you really look at how a child would be like constantly going back and forth in their mind, like, you know, no. You know, my mom said I can't go out here. I can't be with him right now, or I can't go with him, you know, because, you know.
Because their relationship.
Because their relationship.
Not nothing he did to me.
Right. Because you know what, I don't think parents really or women don't really ever let that child actually even go through the experiences. You know, I told my children, you know, and this one man in particular, but if once he showed me who he was, I said, I'm going to let my child see who you are. Right. And you're going to show them. I'm not going to say anything negative to put that in that light where I'm like, no pun intended on my last name. But I'm not going to put them into the mindset of where this is what the expectation is of you at all, Andre. So I didn't.
Right. I didn't either.
You know, I just let them show who they were. Yeah. And, you know,
and they
unfortunately.
Figured it out. You know, they teens.
Unfortunately, you're like, man, but you know, those are those hard experiences, of course, that parents don't want their children to experience, and I get that. But, you know, I was even talking about that before, and I know we got like 5 minutes left in the show, but I was talking about that before online. Does it matter where you live at? Does that matter in order to, like, in your mindset? So do you limit yourself, or how you live or where you live, you know, make your mind transform into where you are, or do you always think out of that?
Yeah, I always think out of that. I lived in the slums.
Right, that's what I said too.
But I never had the bad mind mentality.
Right. Yeah. And you know, I said that too. And then, you know, I was talking to John Turing, if he's online, but he was like, you know, the way that society and everything is set up, and he started looking at redlining, and he wasn't aware of all these different things that were happening up under the cover of, you know, that color banter, right? So he wasn't looking at things in the context of that anymore, right? Mm-hmm. But he was just looking at things as being like, oh, you know, I'm American, I'm a white male. You know, does this really happen? Until he started doing research for himself, because a lot of his friends were like questioning, like, how do you not know this stuff is really going on out here? Anyway, and you know, our cousin Greg, we had a conversation about these things as well. Like, doesn't your mind change or shift? Or do you think a lot of people even think that far? You know what I'm saying? Because if your same circumference and everybody you hang out and everybody that you go around is in the same situation, you know, how can you think outside of yourself, you know, and your community? You know what I mean?
Right. Well, yeah. I've never been outside of your community, but
no.
I was always outside of my community when I was 14, 15, 16. I was always, you know, in Iowa. And I was driving everywhere.
Right.
But some people I know that haven't left Decatur in their whole life. So
Yeah. And you know, I think that's what we in this new journey that we putting embarking upon. I think that's the experiences that we're going to have to give them.
yeah,
You know, the youth, in order for them to feel like, you know what, I don't know what to eat. Because sometimes if you never see a vision,
right.
how would you even know how to create one?
Yeah, like the first time we went down to St. Louis Six Flags, I'd never been on a roller coaster.
Right.
I want
Right.
to
Right.
I see it on TV. I want to go do that.
True.
Go experience. I hate roller coasters.
Yeah, true.
You know?
But I'm telling you, if you've never been given an experience to go and see anything different.
Yeah, and actually experience it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I used to love going to the aquariums. I never
Right.
been there. Oh, I like going there now because
Right.
you know I started taking Kinsley to the aquariums. So.
Right. But I'm telling you, I mean, those experiences matter.
Yeah.
And I think they matter in your development and how you want to see the world that you live in. You know, because a lot of people, you know, and I'm not saying that their parents are doing the best that they can probably, but because they can't do any more than that.
And they don't know. They never was raised around that either.
Yep. And that's what ends up happening. You know, I can't blame the parents for a lot of it because, listen, if you've never been given the opportunity and you've never been shown anything different than the square footage that you've been around and the little, you know, here I go there, you know, your 4 blocks. If you've never seen anything different than your 4 blocks, then I can't blame them. But I know like those experiences changed who I was as an individual, which is why I wanted to leave Decatur immediately after growing up. I was like, you know what, where I'm going to go? Hey, Charles, you should have been up here so you could have took my family photos of this weekend and that wedding. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But like, we got 2 minutes left in the show, guys. But yeah, those experiences matter. Yeah, those experiences truly do matter. And, you know, when we're going into our new season of helping the youth out here, especially in Decatur, I would like to see us give them opportunities that they've never experienced before. You know, because I don't even know, do they even take kids swimming or anything anymore?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I used to go to Fairview, but I don't know if they
No, remember they used to take you swimming in school.
Oh, no, they were in no kind of school. I don't think they got no pools in school anymore.
No, they used to take them to the YMCA, remember?
Yeah, went to Fairview.
Oh, I never went to Fairview. I went to the YMCA for my for my swimming classes. But yeah, so it's 3:59, guys. I appreciate you all getting online with me today. It has been Afternoons with Delight. Andre, you want to get any last minute words for
Everybody be safe and love one another.
That's true. Everybody do your best. Leah, got any words for goodbye? Don't say goodbye, say good night. I don't know. But thanks, Charles, for coming on. Julian, Jeffrey, Bree, Dr. Ponce, De Leon. Who else was on? Brent Hood. What's going on, Brent? Mr. Victor. I appreciate you all getting on today. And thanks so much for the listeners over the airwaves. Shannon, I did give you a shout out earlier. But it has been Afternoons with Delight, guys. Thanks for coming on once again. And I will see you next time. Hey, Allie.
I'm here today to spread peace, love, and positivity to everyone out there.
Yeah, we're on. We're out of here for
WRFU is an
today.
open forum
Finna
for
get ready to
Atlanta,
go
Champaign,
on
and the
and
community.
head over the highway.
Views expressed
We'll
are
see
those
my
of the
little
speakers
peoples,
and are
and I'm
not
gonna
intended
clock
to
out for.
represent
Hey, Hub,
WRFU,
what's going on?
CIMC.
You done missed my show for today. I even shouted you
What's
out, Hub. Hey,
going on out
I'll
there?
see you later on. Y'all have a good day.
Your lives are doing great and.